Then you shall make the tabernacle with 10 curtains of fine twisted linen, of snow white silk, of purple, and of leather. And in them you shall make cherubim of brocaded wood. The length of a curtain shall be 28 cubits, and the width of a curtain 4 cubits. Each curtain shall have a measure. 5 curtains shall be coupled one to another, and the other 5 curtains shall be coupled to one another. And thou shalt make cords of blown silk on the hem of the first curtain, which is in the margin of the coupling. And the same shalt thou make on the hem of the other curtain in the margin, and the second coupling. And thou shalt make 50 cords in one curtain, and 50 cords in the hem of the curtain that is in the second coupling. And the cords shall be opposite one another. You shall also make 50 notches of gold, and you shall couple the curtains to each other with the notches, and it shall be one tabernacle. You shall also make golden curtains of goats, which shall serve as a covering of for the tabernacle. You shall make them 11 curtains in number. The length of one curtain shall be 30 cubits, and the breadth of one curtain 4 cubits. The curtain shall be of one measure. You shall make 5 curtains for the cells, and 6 curtains for themselves, but you shall double the 6th curtain on the front of the robe. And thou shalt make 50 curtains in the edge of one curtain at the edge of the mating, and 50 curtains in the edge of the other curtain in the second mating. In the same way you shall make 50 cords of cord. Fasten them to the cords and join the coupling, so that this one. The remainder that remains in the curtains of the wrapping, that is, half of the curl that remains, shall be left on the back side of the tabernacle, in order that the cubit on one side and the cubit on the other side of what is left is in the legs of the curtain of the accoutrement may remain on the either side of the tabernacle to repair it. Moreover, for this covering thou shalt make a covering of dead ram skins of red, and a covering of badger skins on the outside. Moreover, for the tabernacle you shall make planks of shittim wood to stand on. 10 cubits shall be the length of a plank, and a cubit and a half cubit with the width of a plank in one plank. There shall be 2 tenons arranged like the feet of a ladder, one against the other. So shalt thou do for all the boards of the tabernacle. And thou shalt make boards for the tabernacle, that is 20 boards from the south side all to the south. You shall make 40 sockets of silk under the 20 boards, 2 sockets under the one board for its 2 linen tenons, and 2 sockets under another board for its 2 tenons. Likewise, on the other side of the tabernacle, toward the north side, there shall be 25 boards, and there 4 boards of silk, 2 boards under one board, and 2 boards under another board, on this side of the tabernacle, towards the west. You shall make 6 boards. You shall also make 2 boards at the corners of the tabernacle, on the 2 sides. Thou shalt also make them underneath, and thou shalt also make them round about the ring. So shall it be for these 2. They shall be for you 2 corners. Then shall be 8 boards with sockets of silk, that is 6 sockets, 2 sockets under one board, and 2 sockets under another board. You shall make 5 slats of shittim wood for the boards on one side of the tabernacle, and 5 slats for the boards on the other side of the tabernacle. Also 5 slats for the boards on the side of the tabernacle toward the west. The middle rod shall pass through the center of the boards, from one end to the other. And thou shalt make the boards of gold, and shalt make their rings of gold as places for the slats, and make the slats of gold. Thus you shall rebuild the tabernacle according to its structure, which was shown to you on the mount. You shall also make a veil of light silk, of purple, of skins, and of finely twisted linen. You shall make it of red wood with cherubim. You shall hang it on 4 pillars of shittim wood, covered with gold, whose hooks shall be of gold, and fastened to 4 sockets of silver. Then you shall hang the tray on the hooks to introduce it into it. Within the tray, the ark of the testimony. The tray shall be your separation between the holy place and the most holy place. You shall also put a mercy seat on the ark of the testimony in the most holy place. You shall put the table without the vault and the candlestick in front of the table in the south side of the tabernacle. And you shall put the table in the north side. You shall also make a cloth for the covering of the tabernacle, of brown silk, of purple, of camel's skins, and of linen, finely twisted, and worked with the needle. And thou shalt make for the hanging 5 pillars of shittim, and cast them of gold. Their heads shall be of gold, and thou shalt cast 5 brass sockets thereon. Moreover, thou shalt make the altar of wood of shittim, 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide. The altar shall be square, and 3 cubits high. You shall make him horns at the 4 corners. The horns shall be of themselves, and you shall clothe them with brass. Thou shalt also make his succionaries for ashes, his besoms, his basins, his hooks for meat, and his censers. Thou shalt make all his instruments of brass. Thou shalt make therein a lattice like a net of reeds. Moreover, on this lattice thou shalt make 4 rings of bronze at its 4 corners. You shall put it under the structure of the altar, so that the lattice shall be in the center of the altar. You shall also make splints for the altar, splints, I say, of shittim wood. And you shall have them sewn with the brasa, and its bars shall be inserted into the rings, which bars shall be placed on either side of the altar to support it. You shall make the altar of wood between the boards, as God showed you on the mountain. So shall they make it. You shall also make the courtyard of the tabernacle on the south side, that is, all to the south. The courtyard shall have curtains of finely woven linen, 100 cubits long, on one side, and it shall have 20 pillars with their 20 bases of reeds. The heads of the pillars and their fillets shall be of silk. Likewise, on the north side there shall be a curtain 150 cubits long, with its 20 pillars and their 20 bases of wood. The heads of the pillars and the fillets shall be of silk. The width of the court on the west side shall have curtains 50 cubits long, with their 10 columns and their 10 sockets. The width of the courtyard from east to east shall have 50 cubits. Moreover, on one side there shall be vestments of 50 cubits, with their 3 pillars and their 3 sockets. Likewise, on the other side there shall be curtains of 50 cubits, with their 3 pillars and their 3 bases. In the gate of the courtyard there shall be a vault of 25 cubits, of white silk, purple scarlet, and linen, finely twisted and needled worked, with its 4 pillars and their 4 sockets. All the columns of the courtyard shall have silk fillets all around, with their heads of silk and their sockets of brass. The length of the courtyard shall be 100 cubits, the width 50 on either side, and the height of 5 cubits. The vestments shall be of fine twined linen, and their sockets of brass. All the utensils of the tabernacle for its service, all its pinnacles, and all the pinnacles of the court shall be of brass. And thou shalt command the children of Israel to bring thy pure beaten olive oil for light, that the lamps may be always burning. in the tabernacle of congregation, without the wall, which is before the testimony. Aaron and his sons shall prepare them from evening to morning before the Lord, as a statute for all their generation, to be observed by the children of Israel. Thou shalt cause thy brother Aaron and his sons with him to come to thee from among the children of Israel, that he may serve me in priestly office. I appoint Aaron, Nadab, and Abihu, Eleazar, and Ithamar, Aaron's sons. Moreover, thou shalt make holy garments for Aaron thy brother, glorious and beautiful. Therefore you shall speak to all the wise men whom I have filled with the spirit of wisdom, that they may make Aaron's garments to consecrate him, and that he may serve me in the priestly office. These shall be the garments that they shall make: a breastplate, an ephod, a robe, a cloak of wool, a mitre, and a girdle. Therefore they shall take gold, and puffed silk, and purple, and seal skins, and fine linen. And they shall make the ephod of gold, of white silk, of purple, of scarlet, and of fine twined linen, with broke work. Its 2 shoulders shall be joined by the 2 edges, so it shall be closed. And the garniture of the same ephod which shall be put on him shall be of the same workmanship, and of the same stuffing, whether of gold, or of white silk, or of purple, or of skins, or of fine twined linen. You shall take 2 onyx stones, and engrave on them the names of the children of Israel, 6 names of them on the first stone, and the 6 names that remain on the second stone, according to their generations. You shall have the 2 stones engraved according to the names of the children of Israel by a seal engraver, who works and engraves stones. And you shall have them set and embossed in gold. You shall place the 2 stones on the shoulders of the ephod, as stones of remembrance of the children of Israel. For Aaron shall bear their names before the Lord on his 2 shoulders as a reminder. You shall then make garments of gold, and 2 cheeks of fine gold at the end of a work wood. And you shall fasten the work cheeks on the garments. And thou shalt also make the plate of the crest of judgment with stock work, like that of ephod. Thou shalt make it of gold, and of white silk, and of purple, and of leather, and of fine twined linen. It shall be a square and double, 1 hand long, and 1 hand wide. Then you shall make it full of places for stones, that is, 4 rows of stones. The order shall be this: a ruby, a topaz, a carbuncle in the first row. In the second row you shall place an emerald, a sapphire, and a diamond. In the third row, a turquoise, an achete, and a hematite. And in the fourth row, a chrysolite, an onyx, and a jasper. They shall be set in gold in their settings. And the stones shall be according to the names of the children of Israel, 2 according to their names, as seals, each according to its name. And they shall be for the 2 tribes. Then you shall make on the breastplate 2 cheeks at the ends, worked of pure gold. You shall also make on the breastplate 2 rings of gold. You shall put the 2 rings on the 2 ends of the breastplate. You shall put the 2 wedges of gold in the 2 rings at the end of the breastplate. And the other 2 ends of the 2 silver wedges thou shalt fasten in 2 incisions. And thou shalt put them on the shoulders of the ephod, on the front side. And thou shalt also make 2 rings of gold, which thou shalt put on the other 2 ends of the breastplate on its edge, toward the inside of the ephod. And thou shalt make 2 more rings of gold, and thou shalt put them on the 2 sides of the ephod, under the front and against the coupling of the ephod. On the back edge of the ephod, then They shall bind the breastplate by its rings to the rings of the ephod with a lace of light silk, that it may be fastened on the iron covering of the ephod, and the breastplate may not come off the ephod. So Aaron shall bear on his heart the names of the children of Israel. In the judgment plate, when he enters the holy place, to remember them continually before the Lord, you shall also put the Phrim and the Thummim, which shall be on Aaron's heart when he enters the holy place, in the judgment plate. And Aaron shall bear the judgment of the children of Israel in his heart, before the Lord. As a continual reminder, you shall make ephod's robe completely of white silk. The hole for his head shall be in the center, with a border of wool around the collar. It shall be like the collar of a menagari that does not open. And under his skirts thou shalt make pomegranates of puffed silk, a purple, and tights round about her skirts, and belts of gold between them all around about. That is, a belt of gold and a pomegranate, and a belt of gold and a pomegranate round about the skirts of the robe. So shall it be for Aaron when he ministers, and the sound thereof shall be heard when he enters into the holy place before the Lord. And when he comes out, and shall not be dyed, you shall also make a plate of pure gold and engrave on it, as seals are engraved, the shrines of the Lord. And thou shalt put it on the lace of blown silk, and place it on the mitre and on the front of the mitre. So shall it be on Aaron's forehead, that Aaron may bear the iniquity of the offerings which the children of Israel shall offer in all their holy offerings, and which shall always be on his forehead, to make them acceptable to the Lord. Likewise thou shalt embroider the mantle of fine thread, and shalt make a mitre of fine thread. But thou shalt also make a girdle of needle. You shall also make cloaks for the sons of Aaron, and you shall make belts of them, and cups of them for glory and fame. And thou shalt put them on Aaron thy brother, and on his sons with him. And thou shalt anoint them, and fill their hands, and sanctify them, that they may exercise the priestly ministry with me. You shall also make them linen breeches to cover their functions, for the loins to the thighs they shall be long. They shall be for Aaron and his sons when they enter the tabernacle of the congregation, or when they go to the altar to officiate in the holy place, that they may not commit iniquity and die. This will be an obligation for him and his descendants.